grisly road accident along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway at Ngata Black Spot. You're in safe pair of hands tonight. Our sign language interpreter is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get this show started. Naivasha Member of Parliament Jane Kihara was on Thursday afternoon arrested at her home in Nakuru County. In the dramatic incident live streamed on her Facebook account, dozens of officers believed to be from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations raided her Maraigushu home in Naivasha. Kihara in the live footage could be seen being escorted to the nearby SUVs while flanked by her bodyguards. She was ushered into one of the vehicles, which was trailed by several others and driven to the Naivasha police station, where she recorded her statement before being transferred to the offices in Nairobi.
Mimi sijaingia police station maisha yangu yote, sijaandikwa kwa hiyo kitabu. Na mimi si pastor. Ile nasafanyanga ni siasa. So wacheni twende tukasikie mbele.
So what do you tell your Naivasha people?
To be firm. Na tuombe. Na tuseme ni one term.
One term.
Kwa sababu wamesema iko summons walikuwa wametumia mheshimiwa Jane. So hawajasema ni kwa makosa gani. So that's why tunataka kwenda mpaka huko headquarters ndio tujue kama ni makosa gani mheshimiwa Jane amefanya. Lakini we all know that hii ni political intimidation na persecution ambayo inafanywa na President William Ruto. And we are ready and willing. Sisi wote we have always been ready. Kila siku mimi naambia watu yangu ukitoka nyumbani vaa jacket mzito kwa sababu William Ruto hana njia nyingine ya kusimamisha sisi. Njia yake ni kutumia askari, kutumia magari yetu ya polisi na kusumbua sisi. But we are ready and we are willing and we will take him head on kwa sababu he is running down this country and we shall not keep quiet. He wants to intimidate us, to persecute us so that we can submit. Lakini hiyo haitafanyika na haitawezekana. Sasa wamesumbua mheshimiwa Mkonji, sasa huyu ni mheshimiwa Jane anasumbua. Nasikia mimi unajua kila siku ninakimbizwa. So you can actually see magari hapa yametumwa magari kama milioni moja. It was as easy as just summoning because we had actually responded to the summon. Wakili wetu walikuwa wamerespond kwa summon na akasema ile siku wanatuhitaji kotini tutakuwa kotini. So even now that will be our position. It is not the work of a member of parliament to investigate. It is not the work of a senator to investigate because we all know we are law-abiding citizens. Na siku ile tunahitajika kufuata sheria, kila siku tunafuata.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, will be forced to reduce its budget for both the by-elections and the general elections in 2027. This is according to the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, who lamented that elections in the country are too costly, insisting there is a need for efficient use of public funds. Speaking when he appeared before the Senate Devolution Committee, Mbadi said the IEBC should not be buying some election materials every election cycle, urging the Commission to reuse some materials like ballot boxes.
We will have enough funds in 2027 to have election. You know, we have no choice. We must have elections in 2027. And even the by-elections. So we have to look for realign our budgets. There is provision of money. I know IBC is complaining, but we're also telling IBC they must be efficient. The cost of election in this country is too high. So they must be efficient. There are things that we are, we did this with examination. We got a list from the ministry initially, from Kenya National Examination Council, honorable members, to approve for national examination. And the Kenyans, so people were making noise, we have not provided money. We were doing a lot of work on the background. And we rejected that list. It was over 6 billion for items. Later, that has since been revised to below 4 billion. We have almost like saved 50%. Just by asking tough questions around administration of examination. There are things that we bought, surveillance camera last year. Then again we are asked to buy surveillance. We are asked, but we had surveillance cameras last year in the last examination. So even the IBC, we are going to ask IBC questions. There are things that you buy and you don't dispose immediately. Why do you buy them in every election cycle? Election cycle, you want new things. Even ballot boxes. These things, even though they looked, who is fighting with them? Why must they be bought every election? So a lot of things a lot of savings can be realized, and we will realize it, and we will run our elections in 2027 with the time required, and I don't think there will be any hitch.
All right, one of the pertinent conversations will be had on this particular stage tomorrow at 9 a.m. On matters IEBC, especially with the new commissioners coming in place, and that is something you definitely do not want to miss with Fred Njeri. Now, President William Ruto has challenged his competitors to outline their alternative agenda for job creation. The head of state said inciting the youth to cause chaos and destroy property cannot be the alternative to job creation. President William Ruto said he has a solid plan that is already generating hundreds of thousands of jobs for young people, contrary to his rivals, who he said have no plan.
Ile siasa tumesema hatutaki Kenya na Nairobi ni siasa ya ukabila. Sisi tunataka tuungane jameni. Mungu ametuunda sisi wote kutoka jamii zote. Na mimi kama kiongozi wa taifa hii nitahakikisha hakuna Mkenya anafungiwa nje. Hakuna jamii inawachwa nyuma. Hakuna sehemu ya Kenya inawachwa nyuma. Sisi wote ni ndugu moja, wa taifa moja, na tutashirikiana pamoja ndio tuweze kujenga Kenya kwa pamoja. Na kuna vijana mimi napanga kwa climate works. Kuna vijana mimi napanga ajira kwa affordable housing. Kuna vijana mimi napanga kwa ajira kwa digital jobs. Kuna vijana mimi nawasaidia kwenda kufanya kazi ng'ambo. Mimi nawauliza, tafadhali tusikubali viongozi ambao hawana msimamo, viongozi hawana mpango, viongozi ambao hawana sera watuharibie Kenya yetu kwa kupanga mambo ya fujo. Mimi nawaomba kwa unyenyekevu, wale ambao wanasema ya kwamba vijana waende wafanye fujo, wao wenyewe walete watoto wao waende wafanye fujo. Kweli ama si kweli? Mumeona watoto wa hawa jamaa wako ndani ya hii fujo? Mimi nataka niwaeleze, musikubali hawa watu who have no plan, they have no agenda. Hawajui tutafanya namna gani tuzalishe chakula. Hawajui tutafanya namna gani vijana wapate ajira. Hawajui tutafanya namna gani tuwe na matibabu. Lakini wanataka kutumia vijana wa Kenya kuleta furugu. Kuna watu wengine wanataka kutuweka kwa siasa mfululizo. Ati siasa ya chuki, siasa ya kisirani, siasa ya ukabila, siasa ya fujo, siasa ya vita, ya kuharibu mali ya wananchi. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa viongozi, we have no time for violence. We have no time for chaos. We have no time for ethnicity. We want to build our country. Anybody who has a plan for Kenya should tell these young people what plan they have for them to have jobs. I have a plan. Let them come with theirs.
Church leaders and human rights activists have intensified calls for justice following the fatal shooting of youth during the Gen Z-led Sabasaba protests across the country. Speaking during a burial service at the PCEA Church Gatundu North for Ian Njoroge, a final year student allegedly shot by police during protests in Thika, religious leaders and human rights campaigners condemned the extrajudicial killings. They demanded the arrest and prosecution of officers involved in the shooting, arguing that the victims were peacefully protesting before they were infiltrated by criminal groups.
That there is the above of all the above. This government sought their votes. The greatest platform was used is the church. It is from the same platform we are crying for our young ones. It's the same platform we are crying for our young men and ladies. And we are praying to God that this will come to an end.
We can have peace in our country. But tunaomba mumchukulie yeye alikuwa ni shujaa, and that is why we are here today. The reason we have the flag is we want to tell you all Kenyans stand with you, and all Kenyans identify Ian as a modern day Mau Mau. Kifo chake msichukulie kwamba kilikuwa ni bila sababu, but his death and his blood will water the tree of democracy in this country.
He has helped me so much, and he has been by my side, in my studies, in my relationships, in my friendship. Ian has been with me, and I didn't believe that at some point he would leave without even saying goodbye. So in his memory, I will read.
More sad news, where a woman and her child died while 10 others sustained serious injuries in an accident at the Ngata Black Spot on the busy Nakuru-Eldoret Highway. The Thursday morning crash involved a 14-seater matatu ferrying passengers from Rongai town and a trailer heading to Nairobi from Eldoret. Rongai Police Commander Cecilia Kemboi confirmed the accident and revealed that the deceased were a mother and her child. Police also disclosed that the woman who died had been escorting her child to school in Nakuru City when the accident occurred. Preliminary police investigations established that the driver of the matatu had stopped to drop passengers when the trailer, whose driver was allegedly speeding, crashed into the stationary vehicle.
Ni masikitiko makubwa sana kwa sababu ajali imefanyika saa 11. Kweli. Ikielekea saa 12. Kweli kabisa. How many hours inachukua our government of Nakuru County kukuja kutusaidia kuinua hiyo trailer tuweze kutoa yule mama ambaye alikuwa amefinyiwa pale ndani. Huyo mama hana anything. Mimi mwenyewe personally nimembeba, hana anything. Wenye kutengeneza hii barabara, mimi niko na swali kwenu. Hii barabara mlianza kutengeneza lini? How long is it going to take for you to finish this road? Ama mnataka maafa iendelee kufanyika ndio muelewe ya kuwa tuko na uchungu.
Kutoka hapo Ngata Gate all the way mpaka Ngata Bridge hakuna stage. Hata saa zingine na tukiangalia hii area iko na stages mingi sana. So saa zingine inakuwa vigumu hata kulaumu driver.
This road for the longest time, every time you use a matatu going to town, unakaza roho ukiwa ndani ya gari because they park by the side of the road. Na hata park hivi unaangalia nyuma, you see a whole collage of trailers coming down. Unajiuliza hawa watu wanatuona kweli? You know, such situations ndo zinatuweka in the position that we are in.
Sijui tutaendelea kuokota mwili ya watu kwa hii barabara kwa muda gani. It is very unfortunate that tuko na serikali ambayo by all designs wamekataa kusikiza kwamba hii barabara ni mbaya sana. Sijui kama wanangoja mtoto wa waziri akufe kwa hii barabara ndio waone ndio iko baya, ama wanangoja nani, ama wanangoja mili ifike ngapi?
From 7 in the morning until 12, that's the time we managed to the trailer that was in front with that matatu. That's the time it was we called for the cart, the excavator, which came and the other vehicles and pulled the trailer up, and then we were able to pull the body from beneath.
Our deepest condolences to the family of the mother and child. Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has strongly criticized the recent sharp increase in fuel prices, terming the government's explanation as misleading and incomplete. Speaking on the matter, Nyoro questioned the justification given by the Ministry of Energy, which attributed the hike to global oil prices, despite data showing that the highest global oil prices were recorded last year and not this year. In the latest review, EPRA revealed that the prices of super petrol, diesel and kerosene increased by 8.9 shillings, 8.67 shillings and 9.65 shillings per litre respectively. As such, super petrol will retail for 186.31 shillings, diesel will retail at 171.5 and kerosene will retail at 156.5 in Nairobi.
If you go to Ethiopia, the current price of liter of petrol is maybe around 122 Ethiopian birr, which is also below 125 Kenya shillings. If you go to a place like Rwanda prices are also below 170 per liter of petrol. So the basic issue here is that
the fuel prices in Kenya have been high, not because of global issues, but because of exorbitant levies and taxes. And of note is that the government actually introduced a levy of 7 shillings last year. And that is why, even when global oil prices went down, Kenya never noted, because that is the period when the government then inserted the 7 shillings as part of the fuel levy. Why is this money not being treated or included as part of the national debt? Why the urgency of hiding this loan in a separate book from the book that is known by our leaders and from the book of loans and debt and obligations that is known by Kenyans? What are you hiding? The other thing, is this debt sovereign guaranteed? Is it guaranteed by the sovereign called Kenya? The last thing that I want to bring about, and the reason why I call this a scandal, Kenyans are borrowing now, or are made to borrow, 175 billion Kenya shillings. But after 7 years, Kenyans will be paying an extra 100 billion to the banks on top of the 175 billion. What is the urgency for? And in their responses, I saw they are trying to justify construction of roads. Construction of roads in Kenya is not an invention that has been done yesterday. All the regimes have been building tarmac roads. And no Kenyan has a problem when it comes to development, and especially the building of tarmac roads. The problem is that there has never been any other time that Kenyans are borrowing illegally and coming to Kenyans to explain using construction of roads. We have always had roads, but we have never been in an abyss where we are borrowing illegally for the same purpose.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's Democracy for Citizens Party DCP has announced it will field aspirants in all the pending 22 by-elections. Deputy Party Leader Cleophas Malala, in a press conference at the party headquarters, however, said the party will consult its coalition partners in the United Opposition Alliance, going by the shifting political dynamics. DCP has further announced former ODM candidate in the 2022 Banisa parliamentary by-elections, Aden Mohamed, as its candidate in the upcoming by-elections, while lawyer Edgar Busiega will be flying the party colors in Malava constituency.
People of Malava, as I join this new party, I'll hit the ground and I seek for their support.
As you've heard from the Deputy Party Leader, my name is Aden Mohamed. The name I'm known is Kiongozi, Jina Mtani. I'm glad to be member of DCP. After listening to the ground, you know, we are all have the values of listening to DCP. After listening to the ground, and the supporters who supported me in 2022 on ODM, they told me go to DCP and run for this by-election on DCP. And I want to assure DCP and all the members that Banisa constituency will be the first constituency which will be delivered on this new party called DCP. And as you've heard in the press and you've seen, that the late vied on UDM, and after his demise, the people sat and after a lot of discussions, the community said the vibrant young person who vied on ODM should be taking up the seat. But after seeing that I joined the DCP, they all rushed to the State House. They've killed the party, which the senator of Mandera is saying of the party of the North. They killed that party, and now they've run to UDA. And I'm telling the supporters of UDM that candidate is a project. I'm the candidate of the people, and this is the candidate to watch in this by-election.
And for your information, the late MP for Banisa on UDM garnered 10,200 votes. Our current candidate, came second on ODM with 9,886 votes. So he's the most popular candidate who is alive in Banisa.
Thank you so much.
I mean, the most popular candidate who is alive, I have no words for that. We take a quick break right here on EBN Prime Edition. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Thus, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has issued a stern warning to influential individuals allegedly fueling insecurity in Kerio Valley by smuggling firearms and ammunition. Speaking in Kapenguria during the 16th edition of Jukwaa la Usalama, the CS said suspects exploit porous international and local borders to sneak in weapons which have escalated violence in the region. Murkomen vowed no one will be spared regardless of their social status as investigations intensify.
The biggest challenge in our border from all this, from here in Kwanza all the way to Lamu, is that it's very porous border. We have generally very porous borders. Even the border here in Konyao, not properly manned, and there are many other, small routes that are accessed by criminals coming to this part of the world. We still have a challenge of proliferation of small arms, guns, bullets that are, sold illegally around our border with Uganda. And the police have mapped out persons who are engaged in this trade. And I just need to warn them because many of them are wearing suits and own vehicles. We know them now. We have their numbers. They are being monitored. They are due to be arrested. And I just want to warn them that if they find themselves in crossfire, we don't want them to come crying that, the police should have done this or that. We know those criminals who are in this area, and I want to tell them they need to behave. And mtu asijifanye mclever ati we ni kiongozi, ama opinion leader, or it's someone who pretending here to think that they can wear a suit and they're carrying guns and bullets to go and sell to young people to cause chaos. Just remember the famous quote that if you rattle a snake, you must be ready to be bitten by it. And the consequences will be extremely dire. Extremely dire. And we are not laughing about this. I want to tell the people of North Rift, we are having targeted, the National Police Service and all our security agencies are going to have targeted, well-surveilled, intelligence-covered operations. And we will pick people from their villages and their comfort of their shops, of their homes, and we'll take them through a justice process. So be very careful. And I'm not talking to Pokots only. This message goes to Marakwet here, because we know it's a collusion across these two counties.
Governor Mutula Kilonzo Jr. of Makueni County has said that the opposition will continue to criticize President William Ruto's government until it listens to the cries of Kenyans. Mutula Jr. stated that the opposition will not give Ruto's government room to violate human rights. President William Ruto's remarks on shoot to the leg continues to elicit fury among leaders and Kenyans.
Which country shoots people? Cattle rustlers in Pokot are living like kings. Nobody is shooting at them. Yet unasema huyo kijana piga huo risasi, peleka huyo jela, huo. Ai wacha. We can't live like that. Na hatuwezi kubali. No. Na wasikie. It's not possible. No, it's not possible. Yes. Wataimbiwa one time mpaka wasikie. I'm telling you. Parents can't live in fear. We can't bury young people left, right and center. Na wale wa Makueni wawili, mmoja wa Mtito Wandei is an orphan, hakukuwa shamba ya kumzika. The uncle akasema huyo pelekeni cemetery.
To some business news, the Principal Secretary for the State Department for MSME Development, Susan Mangeni, has urged fintechs in Kenya to cover the $20 billion financing gap for MSMEs in Kenya, a move that would fast-track the economic development of the nation. The PS asked the sector to consider investing beyond personal credit and offer value chain tailored working capital and trade financing solutions. Mangeni was speaking during the FinTech Trade Mission from London to Nairobi, organized by Africa Insights Consulting at the KMPG East Africa offices in Nairobi. The event brought together the local fintech and MSME sectors, together with 13 select global fintechs from London, United Kingdom, to share best practices and areas of collaboration under the theme, Navigating the Fintech Regulatory Landscape.
A population that is ready, you know, when it comes to embracing new ideas. Our Kenyan population is super. And so when you have the tech firm, especially those coming from other regions of Africa coming here, one of the amazing things is that they can come here with a new idea. But you see, we have very high believability on the new initiative, and this is what sets us apart from the rest. But again, if you look at what are our competitiveness as a country, technology is becoming big. It has actually overtaken our traditional, for example, cash crops that we used to trade there. And now we're doing big on technology, and therefore, when it comes to now seeing how do we regulate, again, we sometimes become the pesetters in this, seeing if it's going to work here in Kenya, then it can also be replicated in other parts of the continent and also parts of the world.
All right, to matters sports, the NCBA Kabete Open is scheduled to take place this weekend from 18th to 20th July at the Vet Lab Sports Club, marking the tee-off for this year's highly anticipated Kenya Swing tournaments. Adel Balala returns to defend the title and will be looking for his fourth win in the competition, having triumphed in 2021, 2022 and 2024. The event has drawn 90 top players from across the world vying for critical World Amateur Golf ranking and the Kenya Amateur Golf Championship points, including 80 from Kenya, 2 each from Rwanda, Mauritius and Austria, and 1 each from Zambia, South Africa and Burundi. Defending champion and 3-time winner of the event, Balala is among the top names on the list alongside KAGC Championship leader John Lejirma, Michael Karanga and home player Ebil Omolo. All right, we wrap it up at that point tonight. Thank you for watching. A massive thank you to all those that have tuned in tonight and your feedback that continues to come in. Kelvin Muchai, thank you so much for watching from Kitengela. I hope Kitengela is duly informed. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, God willing. God bless. Stay safe as well.